hear somebody's got cancer, it's real easy to say, well, I'm going to pray for you. You don't know what to say when you're facing someone who's been given a diagnosis. I wanted to call it all a lie. At the time, all I could think about was my next job opportunity and my big idea. Pride and selfishness and all of those things that I did before, I set my course to. We got to sell the business, we got to sell everything, if we have to sell this house, if we've got to sell whatever, surely God's not going to take everything from me and I'll have nothing to leave my kids. For once in my life, I want to think about others instead of just trying to grow my own fortunes.
A few months before Rob's diagnosis, we noticed some personality changes. He would easily get angered. He was very forgetful. I thought it was just the stress of owning 3 businesses. It was not. It was something more. The headaches started, and they were debilitating, so much so that he could not go to work.
I just assumed that the headaches that I was having were due to stress.
Then came the nausea and the motion sickness, and that's when we knew something was really wrong.
We went to the first place and they said, you need to have a CT scan. Said, you need to go now.
We were told not to stop at Waffle House to get supper on the way.
Next thing I knew, the doctors were coming in.
And they shared with us that there was a mass on his brain.
I want to say he described it as the size of a tangerine, but to me that just sounded incredible. How? A tangerine's a pretty big thing, and I just got a headache.
We were ambulanced to Piedmont Atlanta Hospital, and they told us that it was glioblastoma.
I was never a good speller, and I wasn't about to be able to spell glioblastoma, so I wouldn't even know how to look it up. I just called it my Goliath.
And I didn't know anything about glioblastoma at the time, so I said, what grade is that? And they shared with us that it was grade 4.
And they said glioblastoma grade 4. Her reaction and her yelp was that thing that really was more powerful than what the doctors said.
His first reaction was, okay, I'm ready to fight this. What can I do to beat this? And they looked at us with a defeated look on their faces and said, well, you really can't. And I didn't know it, but at the time in Rob's head, his first thought was, can't, never could.
I remember the day that I pushed away from this table and said, I want to start a foundation.
And I was just completely overwhelmed by life, by the details of life. Having to look at your wills or our wills and your financial plans and the business assets and the life insurance policies. For you to say that you wanted to start a foundation was unbelievable to me.
Because it's probably the first time in my life that I've ever done anything without thinking of myself. There are times when I'm alone, I'm able to cry, and it makes me feel better. I'm not living anymore for Rob Estes. God didn't cause this.
Since Rob's diagnosis, we've been living life on steroids.
One day I'd like to build a little place here.
And I remember crying a lot that this dream might not come to fruition.
God has greater plans for me, and I hope that He continues to bless me with boring MRIs, as my doctors like to say, and that I'll keep on living, and can't, never could will continue to grow. And my legacy won't be about the landscape jobs that I've done, but rather the people that I have been able to help.
Our mission is to help people who are facing adversity and personal battles, and to do that while glorifying Christ and bringing hope to those people.
Can't Never Could, as a name for this foundation, means
No matter what situation we're put in this world,
is whatever they're facing.
no matter what illness we have,
If they pray about it and it's God's will,
through Christ,
they can. Beech tree has always been my favorite, and that's why we chose this spot, because there are lots of beech trees on this hill, and I love you guys. When we have more time, we can carve our names, your name, Robert, and Sarah Ashley, and Christy, and whoever else joins the family down the road. Make this our tree. Cancer may take my life. The assurance is cancer saved my soul.